for McMillan.
McMillan?
McMillan.
McMillan. Thank you, Deputy Speaker. It's a pleasure to rise on this occasion, and I speak to the gallery and to yourself particularly, Deputy Speaker, in saying this, and to those listening to the debate. You would actually think, from the Shadow Minister through all the speakers, that this governments of today and the past have served the nation poorly from the speeches I've heard today. And actually that is not the case. In my experience, when the former Prime Minister Bob Hawke said we're going to plant 1 billion trees, a million trees, billion trees, from today I've seen the nation, when it's had the money to do it, invest heavily in the environment for the betterment of the people, your children and the children to come. I've seen it in my own district. I was reminded yesterday by the Millennium Goals people, that how beautiful my electorate was, because they had dealings in Gippsland. And then they began to describe my electorate to me. And they described Wilsons Prom. And they described Mount Baw Baw and the hills. They described the farmland. And they described all the work that Landcare had done over many years that has transformed areas of the Strzeleckis. And through all the governments down the ages, especially the Howard government, you know what we saw? Because they had the money to do the job, as you would know, Deputy Speaker, they poured money into the environment. We had the money to do it. The difference with the previous government that we have just experienced is the money was blown, it was gone, and you can't be green when you're in the red. You can't be green when you're in the red. And I can't tell you that I can't control my left hand, let alone what my right hand's doing. Having said that, Deputy Speaker, we as a community, obviously from the speeches you've heard today, they care about the environment on both sides of the House. I am disappointed in some of the remarks that came from the Labor people today, because I say to the gallery, they're actually not true about this government. Actually, and I'd say about the previous government, it was a good idea to put pink bats into houses across Australia. A good idea. But the delivery turned into a horror story of monumental issues, and the sadness for the families that were directly affected. But was some of the things that we do as a community good ideas? Yes, they are good ideas. We don't build houses now without insulating those houses. We make sure there's been a massive change in the way we build houses here, the way farmers think about their property, the way we have non-till ploughing, the way we have non-till sowing, all the changes that have been made in Tasmania. It is one of the most beautiful places in Australia, and one of my reps in the shop used to come and he said, "Tasmania, mate," he said, "it is Australia, if not the world's best kept secret, Tasmania." And I know the three representatives that sit close by me here are passionate about their community. Passionate. They show it in everything they do, in every approach they take. And I want you to be proud of what's happened. Now you're going to say that I'm right out of order here, but I actually don't like international bodies making decisions about what happens here in this country.
Spot on.
I really don't like it. I like the fact that local government makes decisions about what they do with their dogs and where you can walk them. I like the fact that state governments make decisions about how they're going to manage their police force. I like the fact that we make decisions here about defence and social security. And I'd like to think the Australian government actually is clear about its responsibilities and how they are delivered. And I really don't like somebody in an international body deciding what we do here, even though we have made application to that body. It is important that we keep always the responsibilities for the environment of this nation in Australian hands, in local hands, in state hands and in federal hands. I commend all of you speakers to the House and look forward to the next speaker, if there is one.